Hello, welcome to another episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're at. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about postcrossing, about postcards, about stamps, and about stamp clubs. So stick around, it's going to be a great episode. Well, as promised, we're going to start off with postcards. I know I just did a mail day episode, but I've had a few more cards come in. And since October is the month for World Postcard Day, which was October 1st, I thought, hey, why not share the other postcards that have come in this week? A few official postcards from postcrossing.com. This is the first postcard. This comes from Japan. What a beautiful image here of this church at nighttime. It's all lit up. Just a beautiful, beautiful postcard. And then there are the Japanese stamps. Really lovely stamps. Next is this wonderful postcard. Now, this is a great postcard for a couple reasons. One, because I just like the image on the postcard. But second, this postcard comes from North Macedonia. Let me show you the stamp. Now, North Macedonia, I had to look it up. They only have 124 postcrossers. And as you can see, the number here of the postcard, very, very small. Compared to some of the other countries like the U.S., Canada, Russia, Germany, Great Britain. So whenever I get a postcard from a smaller nation or a nation that doesn't have quite as many postcrossers, it always excites me because I know that not everybody's getting those postcards. So thank you so much for that. Next is this postcard. This comes from our friend David, who lives in California, and it is vote. Spelled out in American Sign Language, so very, very groovy. Now, as you know, here on Snail Mail with Smokey, we don't talk politics. We talk stamps, we talk postcrossing, we talk postcards, all things philatelic. But for 15 seconds, I'm just going to remind everybody, especially here in America, Election Day is coming very, very soon. So please do your due diligence, research your candidates from the national all the way down to the local level, and please, please, please go vote. So that's it. Now back to stamps, and thank you, David, so much for that wonderful card. Next is this beautiful card. This is an official postcard. This comes from Germany. And there is the stamp. Really cool stamp. So thank you so much for this wonderful card. Next is this official postcard. This postcard comes from Great Britain. I love this card. It is the tomb of Catherine of Aragon, who was the first of Henry VIII's wives. So a very nice image on there. This comes from Rhiannon. And there are the wonderful stamps. I love that they've included a Christmas stamp as well. So thank you for that. And then the last postcard is this one. This comes from our good friend Monty and from his wife. This is for World Postcard Day. He says his wife Violet took this picture of their local post office, and it's of their postmaster who turned their garage into their post office. There are the stamps. If you saw That Dad Guy's last episode last week where he showed all of his postcards, Monty sent him one of these cards, and I was hoping, Monty, that one was on its way to me as well, because I think it's a really neat card. So thank you for that. And then lastly, this envelope arrived in the mail this week. This comes from Dan, who lives in California, and I was going to share this with you, but the more I got into it, this deserves its own video. So stay tuned in a couple of days. I'll release a video first part of next week, and we'll talk about what's in this envelope from Dan. Really, really interesting stuff, and can't wait to share it with you. So, from postcards to stamps. Now, I am a beginning stamp collector. I've been collecting for less than a decade, and so I still consider myself a beginning philatelist. Yes, I have accumulated a great many stamps. I have stamps that I still need to catalog. I still need to put into my albums and my books. And I'm getting caught up slowly but surely, trying to not buy as many so I don't have as many to catalog until I get caught up. But as you also know, if you've watched the channel, back in July, I had an amazing opportunity to go to my first ever stamp show. My wife and I went. It was a couple of hours away from us in Minnesota, and I had a blast. It was just so great talking to other collectors and dealers, purchasing stamps there. Look, I buy a lot of stamps online. I buy the majority of my stamps online because that's the options I have. But there's something just so awesome about having that tactile contact with your stamps, being able to go through boxes and albums of stamps and really search out what you want to add to your collection. So I had such an amazing time. It really got me thinking about local stamp clubs and stamp organizations. So a few months ago, maybe even close to a year ago, I reached out to a stamp club that I thought was about half an hour away from me. And I was disappointed to learn that because of COVID, because of low attendance, because of advanced age of the members of the club, that the club had dissolved a couple of years earlier. And so there is not a local stamp club in my area. There was one an hour away, or a little over an hour away, I believe. But you know, that's a good distance to travel for meetings and to interact with people. And so it really got me thinking. I live in a very small town. There's 1,700 people in the town that I live in. I know one other guy in town who collects stamps. So the idea of me beginning or starting a stamp club in my town, while I'm all for it, while I would love that, I don't know how feasible that is right now at this point in time. So last week I put out a poll on Instagram and asked how many of you belong to a stamp club, and if you didn't, would you, if there was one in your area? And most of you said you didn't belong to a club, but you would if there was one offered in your area. And a couple of you left comments, messaged me, and you were kind of ahead of me. You were on the same track I was, and you suggested an online stamp club. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to suggest that. What if we as a YouTube philatelic community and subscribers of my channel got together for an online stamp club? Now, the way I'm thinking this would work is this would work over Zoom. It would be a Zoom meeting, and if you wanted to sign up for it, you would just send me an email with your email. That way, I could invite you to the Zoom meeting. We would meet once a month. I know because there are people who watch in different parts of the world. We would have to coordinate some sort of time that was best for everybody. I am in the Central Standard Time here in the U.S., so we'd have to coordinate that. But we could just meet over Zoom for an hour or so, talk about our stamps, talk about our collections. Maybe each time someone gives a short presentation about something in their collection. Just a chance to take the channel beyond what it is and to form this stamp club. And so please let me know in the comments what you think about this. If there's enough interest, then it's something that I'm certainly going to put some effort into, put some work into, and you'll be hearing about it in future videos down the road. It may take a little time to get together. It may be something really that we don't start doing until maybe after the first of the year, because the holidays are fast approaching. It's one of my busy times the year as a pastor and a minister. So maybe it's something we won't start till the first of the year, but certainly we can have all the framework in place for that. I just think it would be really great to connect in that fashion. And so once again, let me know in the comments what you think. Also, let me know if you're part of a local stamp club, and tell me what that's like. Do you have a large membership? Do you have a small membership? How often do you meet? I'm really interested to see if local stamp clubs are still a thing. If it's just because I live in such a small area that they're not available. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about your local stamp clubs and about the possibility of us beginning an online stamp club of our own. So I know a lot to think about, a lot to discuss. Feel free to also send me an email, send me a message on Instagram. My email and my Instagram are both in the description of this video. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I check those often, and I'll respond as soon as I can. So that's it for today's video. Thank you to everyone who has sent me a postcard, a message, a letter. I really, really appreciate it. And until I see you next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.